Hey, what is up, YouTube fam? It's Dupree, aka Darth Vader here, and this is a sucky video to make. I just learned today, a little while ago, that the actor Dave Prowse, who played Darth Vader, actually just passed away at 85. Really sucks. Fortunately, I'm just glad I was able to meet him. How much what he did, influenced and inspired what I do now. Fortunately, people don't last forever, but their legends do. So I'm just happy that I was able to meet him when I did and tell him how much, let him know how much he influenced what I do. And I'm just thankful I had that chance. He was such an interesting person, such an interesting actor. He didn't do a lot of big roles, obviously. Like, he was mostly a character actor. He was mostly, the body that went into like a lot of like monster costumes. Started off as a bodybuilder, and then he played the monster in Frankenstein, and then after that, I believe he was in Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange as one of the bodyguards, and then after that, he got the role as Darth Vader in A New Hope, and he played Darth Vader through every single one of the movies of the original trilogy. And through that work, I know it was popular in England. He was the Green Crosscode Man, which was I guess a traffic safety kind of superhero thing for kids back in the 80s, and apparently it was really big. He got the British MBE for that, for all his work for doing that. The last time I know he put on the suit for anything Lucasfilm wise was for a video game. I want to say it was Dark Forces or one of those mid-90s Star Wars games, but that was the last time officially. And it sucks because he had such a really weird relationship with Lucasfilm, and especially George Lucas, over a lot of misunderstandings. One of the biggest ones I know, which really sucks, which is why George Lucas and Lucasfilm put a ban on him for Lucasfilm events, was they thought that he spilled the beans about the whole, I'm your father secret, which was a really big secret back in the day, when actually he didn't, and still ended up taking the blame for that. And that's one of the reasons why George Lucas just, didn't want to have anything to do with him, and why he was actually banned from Lucasfilm events. That's why you would never see him at, Disney Star Wars weekends when that was a thing, or Star Wars celebrations, or anything big. Like, you'd see him at other conventions and everything, but they weren't like the big main things, and he wasn't really asked to be a part, which really sucks and is really sad, because Darth Vader is the face of Star Wars, and it just sucks that the actor who played him, there's David Prowse, and then also James Earl Jones did the voice, but it sucks that the main actor who played him kind of had to take a back seat over some misunderstandings, which really sucks. And looking back on that now, a lot of people are finding out about that worked with him, and it's kind of just, it just sucks. I remember one of his main gripes was that he wasn't able, that he wanted to have people see his face, and or people know who he was. And apparently he was promised at the end of Return of the Jedi that the face reveal would be him, but ended up being another actor, Sebastian Shaw. I think a few years ago, a Spanish director or Italian director made a documentary about him and about all of that, and they actually recreated the iconic scene where Luke takes the helmet off, and instead of Sebastian Shaw, it's David Prowse in the costume. It was actually on Netflix a few years ago. I definitely advise go check it out. It's a good watch. It lets you know, his side of the story, and they actually interview a lot of other people. I don't know the validity of a lot of the interviews and all that, but it was just a cool watch, so I advise go watch it. Yeah, it sucks. Obviously, like, you know, 85 is pretty up there. You know, nobody ever lasts forever, but I always tell people who are into something, who are into a character, who love a person for their work, I always tell them, go meet your heroes. Go meet these people if you can. You know, people are getting up there in age, and you never know, like, the next day, like, they could be gone just like that. That's kind of one of the reasons I'll tell you guys about that later. I have a crazy story about me driving cross country or out of state to go meet Dave Prowse, but we'll save that for another time. But yeah, this video is about him and his work and how much I admire him and how much I looked up to him. Like, Darth Vader was a very frightening, very scary character when I was a kid. Like, he's the reason why I love Star Wars. Like, it's something about when he got up on screen, like, your eyes were just glued, you know? Just his presence and physicality. Years later, when I eventually decided to cosplay, start dressing up as Darth Vader, my biggest influence was Dave Prowse. Like, I studied his movements, I studied his walk, I studied, you know, his mannerisms, everything. I just want to thank him for that, because when I decided to take on this character, I know it's like he's the biggest movie villain of all time. So it's like you want to do that justice. I took a lot of inspiration from his work, and I just want to thank him for that. And, you know, just say rest in peace and may the force be with him. Like, he's definitely always going to be remembered. Like, he definitely will always be the real Darth Vader, you know. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this, and take care. May the force be with you. Bye.